Hey, beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. I want you to like, share, and subscribe if you're new. If you already haven't, if you've been here, rock with me. I want to thank you so much. I want you to push like, push the video so the content will get out. Okay, now that that's out the way, let's talk about what I want to talk about today. Okay, so I felt compelled for this topic in particular because there were some young ladies speaking about it, about doing a love spell on their spouse or somebody that they love. So that's not the first time I heard that. That's not the first time that I've been involved in something like that because I myself did that. So this is why I'm making this video, as to tell you why you shouldn't do that. Why you shouldn't delve into magic and things that you don't know about. You understand what I'm saying? It can be very dangerous. Okay, so let me start the story. So let me start this off by saying that, let me preface. Okay, yeah, that's the word, preface. Let me preface by saying that you shouldn't have to delve in any type of magic, to obtain someone or to attract them or anything like that. Like if you feel the need to do that, you're going against somebody's will. And on top of that, I did it for fun. I said, "Ooh, let me see what this do. Let me see if this works, or let me see if let me see if this see what this magic is really about." Okay? So, first and foremost, although you don't have any business doing any black magic or any love spells or anything of the sort, if you do decide to do that, which I would highly advise that you don't, you have to look at the source that you're getting it from. The source that I received that from was a demonic cult, unbeknownst to myself, that I was a part of. So make sure that it's a trusted source, because I have received my information from a non-trusted source. If you decide to do that, right? Okay, number 2. You really don't need to do that because you really don't know what you're playing with when you're delving with magic, like those love spells, any type of spells. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know what you're dealing with. You might think you're going to have this type of outcome, but in all actuality, it doesn't turn out the way you thought it would, right? So I was with a close relationship, rather, with a certain young man, like quite some time ago. I want to say this happened around 2018, 2019, when all this transpired, right? So before that, I knew the guy since I was a little girl, right? Since I was a teenager. And growing up, I always had issues in terms of him, you know, dealing with multiple women. That should have been a red flag there, but I was young, I was unaware, I was still pure. And unbeknownst to myself, I always wanted to see a good in people, you know? But I felt at that time, I said, okay, he want to do that. He's still, at a immature age, like he's still young. Maybe when he get older, we might reconnect. You don't know what the universe has in store. Back then, I said, you don't know what God has in store, so maybe we'll get back together one day, which we shall see. But I didn't wait on nobody, so boom. 2018 come, and the universe bring us back together, right? Um, Same thing, just a different day. Meaning that people do things and could have totally 2 or 3 separate lives than what you see with your eyes. So it's good that you trust your intuition when dealing with people. And what I mean by that is, this individual, they still had the same traits they did from when we was kids. But this time, after many baby mamas, after many kids, and things like that, it morphed into something different. Like their whole character change. I had found out later on that maybe they did some type of drugs and the people they was involved in. I don't want to give out names, so let me see. I'm going to call this person Exhibit A, right? So, Exhibit A, we reconnect and everything. I'm thinking things are, hitting off. We getting along, reconnecting. We old pals. We knew each other since we was kids. And then Like, fast forward, he introduces me to some of his friends. One of those friends, I'm going to call them Exhibit B. Exhibit B. Our first time interacting with one another, you understand what I'm saying? They had got in the back seat of my car. Exhibit A was in the front. Exhibit B got in the back seat. Instantly, I felt this demonic ass energy off of them, just a dark energy. So I said, from then, I said I didn't want to judge it, but I said I'm not gonna rock with them. Right? I said, no, you know, your energy is off. Like, I don't want to rock with you. I said that to myself, so I kept my distance from Exhibit B. Right? A few times later, kicking it with them, just chilling with everybody. Right? I saw Exhibit B when I looked in the back of my car again. Everybody was hanging out. They had their phone and they were snorting some white substance in their nose. And I'm sitting here like, it's awkward for me. Although you know people that do drugs, this is not something you see out in the open like that. Like, they had a white powdered substance that they had on their phone that, you know what I'm saying, whatever people do. So I'm like, what? Like, what do you smoke? What are you doing? Like, why are you doing that in my car? You know, like, I said, what are you snorting? She said, ecstasy. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's not my type of party. Right? Instantly get away from them. You know, come to find out, most of the people he hung around, Exhibit A, they did drugs. All of them did drugs. Whether it was the ecstasy, the coke, or what have you. Like, if you do drugs, do you. I'm not nobody to judge you. But fast forward with the story. So we start developing feelings for one another, it seemed like. Started reconnecting. Then come to find out, I'm like, oh, it's cool. Okay, let me see what this do. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. What I meant by that is like the spell. I'm like, somebody introduced it to me in a demonic cult I was a part of, right? They was like, oh, you know, you should do that, you know, to, you know, build your bond stronger, da da da. I even brought it to Exhibit A face, like his face. I said, how you feel about spells? Like, how you feel about magic and things like that? And sage and like, they really wasn't with it, but I did it anyway. That was my mistake. I said, let me see if this works, because I didn't believe in magic like that. Like, I always been intuitive, but when dealing with magic, I said I didn't believe. I said, let me see what this do. Let me have fun to see how this goes, right? So I already did the spell, the love spell, right? Going for it. This guy, Exhibit A, ends up homeless, right? What I didn't know and pay attention to is that I remember them telling me that they had some type of psychological disorder, meaning they were diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenic, right? As a healthcare worker, that's dangerous, you guys. You don't ever want to be with nobody like that, because if they snap and kill you, then that's on you, because they're not in their right mind. There's a chemical balance within the brain, and their brains are basically scrambled eggs. Like, they not right up here. They not right up here at all. And that makes a lot of sense. Now that they mentioned that a long time ago, I'm like, oh, now I see your behavior. Like, they were a good actor, actually, because they concealed it very well. I don't know if there were any form of medications that they were taking, but they concealed their mental illness quite well. But going forward, I did the love spell. Then boom, I start getting these weird inclinations that Exhibit A and Exhibit B has some extracurricular activity going on. So I'm like, what the fuck going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, me as a person, like, I'm not jealous, but at the same time, I'm territorial. If I'm with you, you belong to me, like, you belong to me. Like, I'm not possessive in a sense where I'm going to withhold you and you can't do what you want to do until I say so. No, that's not me, but I'm territorial. Like, I mark my spot. And I marked my spot on Exhibit A at the time, right? So Exhibit B, when I say she had a dark demonic energy, I said, you a snake ass hoe. And I don't deal with them type of people. That's what my initial thought was. I said, I don't deal with you. You could be his friend, but you're not friends with me. Don't ever think that we are. And I told her that later on, but we're going to get to that. So, Exhibit A has so much extracurricular activity going on, you guys. We did end up moving together because, like I said, the nigga was homeless. They ended up homeless and shit. You know, people who are mentally ill will end up homeless because of how they act and how they treat others. But we're going to get to that too. So fast forward, we move in together. I start after the love spell. Actually, no, actually, let me go back. So Exhibit A, they ass ended up homeless, right? And Exhibit A, didn't have nowhere to go, homeless. And also Exhibit A got their car taken away when they went to jail, right? So you really out here on your 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? So, and me being the person I was, I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and let my friend, like my true friends, be like that out there on their feet like that. So I did assist in terms of acquiring a vehicle for them, right? Just to make sure they was cool. So we was cool. Like we were getting along very well. I didn't tell them that, but I said, oh, let me help them at the time. Came to some extra money. I said, why not? Help them get their little vehicle, whatever. So after that, it was one night when there was a party that night. It was actually one of my family members' party. Had went to one of my family members' party, then Exhibit A. That's the same night, actually, around the same time. We acquired Exhibit A's car, off a person, off this website and whatnot. So after that, Exhibit A, I was with Exhibit A. We got the car. Then he's talking to Exhibit B on the phone. Then the shit hit the fan. Everything came out, right? So Exhibit B get in the car. When she see me in the front seat driving, she looking at me like, what's she doing here, right? So you know what this story going, right? So it's still not really dawning on me. Like I'm telling Exhibit B, having a conversation with her. I dropped Exhibit A on the next block over his friend's house. So I'm at Exhibit B's house. Exhibit B, I go in Exhibit B's house. I said, oh, can I wash up? You know what I'm saying? I've been outside all day, girl. I just got my head down. I'm going to my cousin's party on the next few blocks over, right? And that's what happened. I said, I need to wash up. Is that okay? I asked her before I even stepped foot in her house if that was okay. She obliged me. She said, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, yeah, girl, he had me outside all day this whole weekend. We've been out here walk the bam. Basically telling her, like, I'm not telling her everything, but I was telling the truth of what happened, girl. I need to wash up. Like, it's last night, but I'm sweating profusely. She looking like she didn't know what profusely meant, but I'm not going to hold that against her. It's okay, Exhibit B. I know, baby. Went in there, washed up, came out, came back around, we riding around for something. Then Exhibit A personality change, right? So I already did the love spell, y'all. Like, this love spell had a certain time to take effect because something within the love spell had to wait a certain time before I did that last step, right? So when that happened, Exhibit A flips on me, y'all. While we all out there, flips on me. Now, the level of anger that I had, the level of hurt that I had, everything, y'all. I can't even comprehend or put it into words, but I went to the party, but I was so upset, like I saw red, like I could really hurt somebody, like kill somebody. So when I had started getting thoughts like that, I said, I'm not wasting my life away. I went home. And then when I saw that love spell was the one last up, I said, "Fuck this shit. I'm not doing that shit. You're not my best friend. I'm like, fuck this nigga, right?" I threw the love spell away. I didn't even complete the last part, you guys. But here's the juicy part, right? Of course, when you do things to people, you always end up needing them later. Me, being the young and dumb person that I was, ended up reconciling with Exhibit 8 after him begging and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? And we ended up living together. Like I said, I'm going back to school. I'm finishing my degree up. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a house here. You can stay there if you want to. That's after he got whatever happened to his car. I said, that's what the fuck you get. You thought I was going to help you again? No. But he ended up, staying with me. Because his ass ended up on the street again. Right back in the same predicament, but no better for him at the time. So fast forward, you guys. Exhibit A, we moved in together. He started acting weird. So this is how I know this love spell took effect. I threw it in the garbage. I just forgot about the love spell, y'all. But it didn't took effect. You guys, like, you really have to live with somebody or really be around them to truly find out who they are. Because This person turned into a complete monster. I didn't know who the fuck I was dealing with. I'm scared to go to sleep at night. Like, I was scared to go to sleep at night, but let me start off by saying this. Exhibit A started doing strange things, like try to gain so much control over me. Like, I used to go to work, come home, study, and I'd be tired after I did work. So I just come home and work after work and just chill. I clean up, cook or whatever, right? So basically, I was like a housewife without the title. He really had me held bound. Like, nah, he was telling other people that I was his wife and all this other shit. Exhibit B. I'm going to get to this later, but, I found out Exhibit B had a baby by him. Exhibit B, the messed up part about it is, Exhibit B is cousins of Exhibit A. Okay, so how do I explain this? Exhibit B and Exhibit A baby mama are cousins. That's what I meant. Can you believe that? So that means your kids are cousins and they brothers too? Weird ass fucking people. But I'm gonna tell y'all later how I found out about that. How I knew that Exhibit A. Matter of fact, I should make a whole nother video about it, you guys, but it ties into this shit. So we move in together and I get to kind of see the type of lifestyle that Exhibit A going into that I had no, knowledge about. Exhibit A was a drug dealer, right? Exhibit A sold drugs and had this, was in the streets and shit. I've never been that type of girl. I've never been in the streets like that. Like, I'm a homebody. I enjoy traveling, but it's going to be to a destination with me handling business. That's how I operate, right? So he kept me in the house. Y'all, he'll take my car. Don't see a hit from no nigga until I got to go to work. I'm like, oh my God, I lost so much energy. Like, I was completely depleted after a certain time until I stood my ground. When I try to leave the house or try to go somewhere, he's like, oh, I need you. Why does this person need you? If it was dealing with another man, like, he had a whole nother, I would say double life, but he had quadruple lives going outside the crib. All type of things going on out there. He had called me one day. What you doing? I said, I'm chilling. Why? What's going on? Oh, nothing. I'll get up with you later. My intuition to tell me, look out the window. Exhibit A is outside my house. Tucked away so I couldn't see him, but I could still see him. I'm peeping through the cracks. So that means he was stalking me. He was watching me. Any step I go, he'll watch me. I fall asleep. Exhibit A is like, he'll think I'm asleep, but Exhibit A will come stare at me, look at me, and things like that. All type of weird things. You understand what I'm saying? Exhibit A started to turn into a fatal attraction. Me and Exhibit A actually even got into an altercation. Exhibit A, when I think about it, back then, Exhibit A already had the baby with Exhibit B. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he already had outside babies. So Exhibit B, Exhibit A with Exhibit B. Exhibit A would argue with me, so he could probably be out having an excuse to be outside with Exhibit B and that baby. Right? I didn't know Exhibit A had a baby. But I found out about it. But going forward, I'm driving in the car with Exhibit A and Exhibit B in the back seat, right? So I'm driving. Exhibit A starts saying, oh, I want to be friends. I said, okay, cool. You don't want to be in a relationship, that's fine. So I'm driving with Exhibit A, Exhibit B in the back seat. I see this handsome young man, like, I'm damn. Like, he fine as hell. I said it out loud. Like, I know you not from Indiana, right? Because that's where we lived at the time. Exhibit A, after I said that, why in the hell I say that to that man in front of that man? Exhibit A yanks the wheel and turns the wheel like I almost crashed the car. I laughed, but I'm like, whoa, like I was thrown off a little bit. I'm like, what are you doing? Then he started turning the car again, try to make me turn the car around to go talk to dude. He said, go talk to the nigga then. You think he fine? Go talk to the nigga. Start acting way out of character. I said, what? Then he says after that, why Exhibit B in the back seat? Didn't know he had a baby with her the whole time, y'all. Never knew. So, Exhibit A. After that little incident, I tried to leave the house one day. Exhibit A wouldn't let me leave the house. I'm in the bathroom, in the shower, finna leave. Exhibit A takes my keys and goes. Go ghost. With my fucking car, bro. So I can be, and I called, I said, bro, this nigga really took my car, yo? I'm sitting in the house, you really taking my keys while I'm showering? Finna go somewhere, you wanna take it so I wouldn't go? like all type of weird stuff. And then there was another instance where Exhibit A, when I was driving with Exhibit A, he told me to do something, and I was like, okay, I'm doing what you told me to do. He said, I know you do. I'm scared because I never felt anything like I ever felt with any other woman, and it's scaring me. I said, oh shit. Then it hit me like it's the love spell. I'm saying, this nigga turned into a total fatal attraction. Then it was with the last straw. I came home and I said, I'm tired of this. Like, I gotta get away from this dude. Cause not aside from the weird things that he was doing, he became extremely disrespectful, not only to me in person, but in front of other people. That's why I draw the line. It's like I was helping you, and you wanted to be extremely disrespectful to me. I drew the line, so mentally I left already. I said, I'm getting the fuck away from this dude. Like, you can't nobody help you. You can't even help yourself. My dude, that's probably why you in the same predicament that you in where I left you at. Look how you treat people. Look how you treat me. Can't bite the hand that feeds you. You guys, right? So the last straw, Exhibit A came into my room, and Exhibit A, what did he do? Exhibit A asked me like, I need your car. I need to make a run. I said, nah, you need to get your own. You need to use your car because I got something to do. You don't ever come back with my shit. Like, what's wrong with you? Then, out of no fucking well, Exhibit A smacked me. And I'm like, I was taken aback. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this nigga just hit me? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of, you stunned for a second. Like, they never hit me before, right? So I'm like, okay. I said, okay, that's the last straw. I'm getting away from you. I'm not fighting you. I fought a man before that physiologically stronger than you. Even if you get some gold with them, they still gonna hurt you. So I said, I'm not gonna fight you. I said, this is the last straw. You getting the fuck up out of here today, right? He tried to take my phone, but I already text somebody. It was actually my mom, right? I texted my mom. My mom didn't trust Exhibit A from the get-go from when we was kids. She already pulled this card. She said, baby, this is the code word. And I want you to send me this code word when you need mama. My baby, right? So I hurried up and texted her before he took the phone away from me. The code, I sent the code word to her. She already knew what to do. She called the police and sent them over there, right? So I stalled Exhibit A. I said, this is the last straw. Not only is you extremely disrespectful, you want to use me for money, you want to disrespect me, mentally abuse me, verbally abuse me. After you know how much I loved you as my friend and one day my husband. You understand what I'm saying? And you're going to treat me like this, and then on top of that, you're going to hit me because I wouldn't let you use my car? That's unwarranted. And, your behavior, it ends today. I said, no, I can't take this abuse. It's too much. So I stalled Exhibit A, and then the police came. I had to file order of protection against Exhibit A because that's the only way you could get out of your lease in Indiana. So that's what I did. Ended up filing a order against them just to get them out the crib because I told them plenty of times to please leave, please leave. Like, I'll even pay you, please get away from me. I don't want you around me. They will never leave me alone. They were stalking me. You understand what I actually felt my life was in danger because I actually threatened for me to have people, whoop my ass and kill me, right? At the time. So I'm like, I felt like he'll do it. I know Exhibit A caught a body before. Like, mentally ill people like that, they might throw you in a facility, but, you won't do no jail time for that because you're clinically diagnosed with mental bipolar schizophrenic disorder. Or is it schizoaffective bipolar? Bipolar schizophrenic, yes, that's what it is, right? So, going forward, y'all, for those even considering, it's so much other stuff that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to break it up into parts, so I'm going to stop it right here because I'm already 24 minutes in. It's so much other things that I could talk about, but I'm gonna break it up into parts, but this is just a fair warning to not delve into magic because I was stalked, I was ridiculed, verbal abuse, mental abuse, and it turned into physical with so much negative energy, and as an empath, you soak that up, it drains you. Like, this is some evil, demonic-ass energy I was dealing with, like, so many things, y'all. I'm going to extend this into different videos, so this is going to be part 1. Don't play with magic. Don't do love spells. You're going to regret